Hello, this is video number 2 of the Somerset or either personal tapestry art piece. So in this video number 2, what I'm going to do is talk about colours to use and also the kind of brushstroke style and just generally the whole style of how to paint it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about colour first. So I put yellow down on mine, so it doesn't really matter what colour you start with as long as it's quite a pale colour. Now I'm trying out on a scrap piece of paper here. I've tried out a bit of a black, but I quite like this blue. As I'm using like this old set of paints I've got here. I'm going to use some blue, I've decided, but I'm also going to maybe have a little bit of white and black in that so that I get a few different shades or a few different tones within the blue. So I'm just having a go at this willow pattern here. So I quite like that. I'm going to add, maybe I've got a little bit of white here, so I'm going to add a little bit of a lighter tone, but also a little bit of black as well, just mixing as I go. But basically it's mostly this kind of slightly turquoisey blue. Okay, now what I've also got, I want to repeat a number of these plant sort of motifs all the way around my picture, because I think that will really pull it together if there's quite a lot of repeated patterns in there. So I'm going to go for this willow pattern. I've started one up here and I'm going to do one down the side here and maybe down the side there. So just choose something that you can do that's I might have a little practice here just to show you. I've got another bit of, I've done some more yellow on this one bit here. So to do my willow pattern, I did first of all a kind of swirling stem, and then on each one I'm going to put a long willowy leaf. So I might have a few in that kind of curve there, and then maybe another one here. Add a bit of black to that. Is it this one? Yeah. Okay, maybe fit it in there. And each stroke is done with care, but it's also still quite simple. It's not overly done, it's not over fancy. So I'm getting my little willow pattern there, and I'm going to repeat that quite a few times around this. I think repeated little motifs are what really pulls this together. So I'm going to start down there. And do you remember I did that kind of stem to start with, and then a mix of blue and white and black, but mostly blue, just to give it so can you see that all right? I'm just doing each one really carefully because I want each leaf to look really beautiful. You can draw this all out or you can just go for it, as long as you do it carefully. That one's a bit blacker. Might do one a little bit whiter, so it comes out a bit grey. I quite like that. Might put a touch of blue down the edge of that one there. Give it a bit more different tones. So if I put blue on the edge of there, and a little bit of the grey blue in the middle. Okay, so the other thing I've got going along here is my willow trees. So again, I want it to be fairly chunkily painted, but careful. So this is going to be a repeated motif. So my first little one. So these are those willows that have been coppiced with the new branches coming out of the sort of stubby trunk They're often at a funny angle. And I'm going to paint everything with these same colours because that will give it the kind of graphic style that I want. So everything's going to be in this blue with a bit of black and grey to give it a different tone, but basically this turquoisey blue. Now to start pulling all this together, I need to do my kind of little boxes around each thing. So I'm going to very carefully, again, don't use a ruler, doesn't matter if there's a bit of a wobble. So I'm creating my frame around there and creating a box around these willows. Okay, it's all going to be boxed in. Might put a little bit of kind of water or something along the edge of those willows. Maybe a bit more. I think if everything is in the same size of brushstroke, it all starts to really pull together. So everything is quite a chunky line. I think that looks good. Okay, got a box here. Now, box down there. And you can see I can do fairly good straight lines actually if I use my whole arm as opposed to trying to do a straight line with lots of little strokes. That's more difficult. If you use your whole arm, you'll find you've got a much steadier line. So that's a good way of kind of learning to do straight lines. Use your whole arm. I've got a secondary little frame there. Okay, well that started us off for our Somerset Tapestry, and I will tell you more about it in part 3. Okay, I will see you then. Thank you.